Coming up on CPTV, Indiana legislators have a bill on the floor that could change the look of some high school graduation ceremonies. An award show speech sparks the possibility of another 2020 celebrity presidential run, and the girls and boys basketball teams both face Chesterton at home Friday night. CPTV is up next.
Last Friday, the CPA football team got another good morning. This weekend, CPTV.
Welcome to CPTV.
Hi, I'm Ellie Lockhart.
And I'm Ben Land.
Welcome to CPTV. Zach Jones will have your 5-day weather forecast, and Ramsey Harkness will bring us CP Sports highlights.
Here's what's happening at Crown Point High School.
A proposed state law mandating students who serve in the military be allowed to wear their dress uniforms may be going into effect this coming July. The authors say the bill was written in response to the events that took place at Crown Point High School's 2017 graduation ceremony involving the long-standing cap and gown policy. Here's CPTV's Evan Holland from the State House.
During and after last year's graduation ceremony, Crown Point High School administration came under fire for enforcing a long-standing school corporation policy requiring a cap and gown to be worn by all graduates walking across the stage at graduation. Outcries from neighboring communities filled social media and local newspaper websites. District 11 House Representative Mike Aylesworth said the CPHS events led to his drafting of House Bill 1055. The bill would mandate all Indiana school districts to allow students serving in the military to wear their dress uniform at the respective graduation ceremonies.
It should be good courtesy to all people that have been through basic training in the military if they choose. You know, it's up to the person that's in the military. If they choose to walk with a cap and gown, I don't have a problem with that either. But if they elect to walk in their uniform, I think that should be a privilege given to them.
In June of 2017, Crown Point High School graduate and U.S. Marine Private Jacob Stanley made the decision not to walk across the stage at graduation. CPHS administration had told him he'd be required to wear his cap and gown like every other student, but instead, Stanley arrived to the ceremony in his military uniform. He was again told he must wear his cap and gown, but he decided not to walk. To this day, CPHS stands by their decision, along with some current members of the military.
The boss designates the uniform of the day. Nobody understands that better than the military. So whenever these basic trainee graduates come to the graduation and the principal says this is the school policy, that makes that the uniform of the day. If it becomes a law and you take that out of the school's hands, I just think it ought to be a school decision.
Looking forward, the passing of House Bill 1055 could bring a change about for all Indiana high schools, and this, coupled with the demolition of longtime CPHS graduation ceremony host, Star Plaza, will make the ceremony very different for the class of 2018 and beyond. For CPTV, I'm Evan Holland.
Following President Trump's victory in the 2016 presidential election, the door for celebrities to run for office seems to be more open than ever. In recent weeks, rumors of famed talk show host Oprah Winfrey trying her hand at politics have begun to surface. And she's not the only celebrity toying with the idea. Here's CPTV's Armando Braca with more.
That a new day is on the horizon.
After Oprah's Golden Globe speech, it has sparked the interest of many on whether or not she might run for president in 2020. But this isn't the first time a celebrity has considered running for president, as Donald Trump, a celebrity himself, is currently president. But this isn't a new thing for celebrities to be running, as Ronald Reagan, a movie star, became president in the 1980s, and Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor of California in the early 2000s.
I think with celebrities running for president, whether it does become a trend, honestly, I believe depends on whether or not Trump does a good job, which seems unlikely.
While Oprah has gotten most of the attention, other celebrities have decided to announce that they're running for president in 2020, such as Kanye.
I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
And Dwayne Johnson and Tom Hanks.
I guess we gotta do it. Come on, drop it. Let's go. We're doing it.
As we talked a little bit about Oprah Winfrey, she's considering putting her hat in the ring. And in many ways, she would probably have a lot of outstanding qualities to be, in a sense, a president. She has had some philanthropic work. I think at one point in her early career, she was a reporter, so she's had to deal with some political issues and politicians in general. But the one thing I would suggest out there for people to consider a little bit is probably many of the people that want her to run are also people, very understandably, angry with President Trump.
If you take a look at the historical trends, actually, of people joining the race, there's actually a lot of people that in the past, obviously Trump gained a lot of notoriety this last year, having no experience in politics. You could make the example of someone like Dwight Eisenhower, who actually never voted until he ran for presidency. He had no previous elections or any type of political office held. George Washington even, went straight from the military into that. So the idea historically of an outsider candidate, there's a lot of them.
Voters are going to have to consider whether or not celebrities will make good candidates. But no matter what happens, America is going to have a big decision to make in 2020. For CPTV, I'm Armando Bracco.
Some years, it seems like the Crown Point Community School Corporation will announce a delay for light fog, and the next year, students can be seen walking to school in 6 inches of snow. However, this year, a statement on the CPCSC website has caught the attention of many students thinking that they can call their own snow days. CPTV's Enrique Jimenez discovered that the statement doesn't mean what many students believe it means.
We're already midway through January, and we've already seen frigid temperatures and fair amounts of snowfall. However, we haven't had any snow days or even so much as a delay to show for it. These occurrences have led to student inquiry on how cancellations or delays are determined. While the question of how cancellations or delays are determined is a bit difficult to answer, a number of students have recently found a statement on the Crown Point Community School Corporation's emergency closing website. The site reads, quote, "Parents have full support and authority to determine if it is unsafe for their children to travel to and from school," end quote.
I feel like presenting the option written in the handbook that it's the parents' choice to do that is just a cheap loophole, no better than companies getting tax breaks through things like that. And using that is just a way of them to make sure they don't lose money by calling school if they've already sent buses out or already made lunches, because that's already paid for. They can't get that funds back. They can't tell the bus drivers that they've gone out and now they aren't getting paid because school's off.
I think there could have been at least some snow days and some delays because of the roads being icy and the weather being too cold.
I don't think it should be up to the parents or the students.
Some students are under the belief that this is a weather or absence loophole. Not so fast, says CPHS Attendance Secretary Zareen Pusara.
If at any time you ever feel that your student is going to be at risk if they need to drive or whatever, again, just call the school, make sure you let us know that you're calling your student off, and that's really all you have to do.
In other words, if you think this statement gives you a free day off, it doesn't. The absence counts against your allowed sick days and things like perfect attendance. So remember, if it is dangerous to drive where you live, stay home and have your parents call the school. For CPTV, I'm Enrique Jimenez.
The Indiana State Board of Education recently voted 7-4 to approve new graduation requirements for Indiana's high school students beginning with the 2019 freshman class.
Probably the biggest area of the plan is what's called the post-secondary readiness skills, and that's where students are going to have to meet one of 10 different requirements. One of the requirements is an academic honors diploma. Two of the requirements are meeting benchmarks on the ACT test or the SAT test. There's also some more internship/apprenticeship options in that domain. Students can take a test to enlist in the military called the ASVAB. They can be a CTE concentrator, and that's completing a course sequence in one of our CTE areas, which is the business department, the FACS department, or down in our industrial arts department. Another way to meet that domain is to pass at least 3 AP classes or get 9 college credits. And so that's the area of biggest concern for us right now, is developing plans for all of our students to be able to meet that competency, those post-secondary competencies.
The board says the pathways are designed to give students the skills and experiences they will need to help them succeed both in higher education and finding a job. "Are you taking half days next year?" is a phrase commonly heard by many juniors during course scheduling. The CPHS Internship Program hosted the Internship Networking Fair last night for all students interested in the half-day program.
The Internship Program is a program that allows high school seniors to experiment and try out a college or career path that they think they might want to pursue. Our goal is to try and give students a real life experience before they're hitting the colleges and before they decide on what their career path is going to be.
I'm interning at the high school for fashion. I'm really excited to do this internship because I want to major in fashion design.
Mrs. Zaga and the job coaches help you find where you want to be at and what field you want to go into, and they have a lot of suggestions of areas near here that you could go into.
The reason I joined the internship program is because I thought that it would be a good work-based learning experience, and I thought that it'd be a good opportunity for me to gain, get a feel for the TV and media field to see if it's something that I want to further pursue.
Well, we've kind of gotten used to this weather pattern where we experience bitter cold or snow, and then 5 days later we'll be basking in 50-degree temps. We're cold now, but are warmer temps ahead. Here with your 5-day weather forecast is CPTV's Zach Jones.
Lots of unusual weather this winter in Northwest Indiana. We saw sub-zero temps last week, and yesterday we were in the 50s. Does this mean a short winter and early spring? First, let's take a look at what you can expect for the rest of the day. We'll have lots of cloud cover throughout the day today. A few patchy areas of flurries did make their way through the area this morning. But by noon, the temps will warm up into the lower 30s, and as we head home from school, road conditions should be just fine, and the temperatures will start to steadily sink back into the low 20s throughout the afternoon and the evening. For your 5-day forecast, tomorrow, temps will start to make their way upwards again with a high of 42, along with some mostly sunny skies. Friday, we can put away the heavy coats for the day with a high of 51, along with cloudy skies opening up into the evening. For your weekend, temps will start to dip again into the 40s on Saturday, along with a slight chance of thunderstorms and maybe even some flurries forming in the evening. On Sunday, colder yet with a high in 30s and more clouds moving into the area. We'll return to school on Monday with temps in the mid-30s, but with clear skies. That's your 5-day weather forecast. Have a great week.
The boys and girls basketball teams both faced tough Chesterton squads in the only back-to-back of the year. Ramsey Harkness will tell us if either team was able to take down the Trojans after this break.
Hi, I'm Peter.
The boys and girls basketball teams both faced Chesterton Friday night in their only DAC home back-to-back. The girls' game started off slow and was a defensive battle throughout. Ultimately, the game was decided by a few missed shots by the Dogs and some clutch free throws by the Trojans late in the game, with CP falling to Chesterton 36-32.
They got us by all the little things. Like throughout the game, we made some turnovers, we missed some open layups, we didn't make some free throws, and that just really got to us at the end.
The biggest thing is just playing 4 quarters against anybody who's good, and obviously Chesterton at 18-2. They're a good team, a very well-coached team. We needed to finish. We played great for 3.5 quarters, and unfortunately, down the stretch there, they made some big plays, and we missed some shots and had a couple big turnovers.
The girls currently sit 13-10 on the season, with sectional play starting next Friday. Coming into Friday night's game, the Chesterton boys basketball team had lost 6 of its last 7 contests against the Bulldogs. But Trojan senior forward Austin Peterson started the game hitting his first 4 shots on his way to 10 points in the first period. Chesterton threw a defense at the Dogs that, for the first time this season, wasn't a full-court press and forced CP into a half-court game. CP kept it close in the first half, 20-16, but Chesterton opened the third quarter on a 12-2 run and outscored the Bulldogs 24-7 in the period. Chesterton moved to 14-2 overall with a 56-39 win. Peterson, a Purdue baseball commit, led all scorers with 18 points. Ilya Gerodimos led all Dogs with 15 points.
We came out in the third quarter, we got some bad breaks, and I think that's when they started getting their momentum. We were down, I think, like 10 right away. And it was just, against a good team like that, it's hard to get down to begin with.
They played extremely well and took us out of what we wanted to do, and they made a lot of shots and we didn't, so it kind of boiled down to that. Hopefully here in the next couple of days of practice, we can try to get some things rectified offensively and do a better job on the boards and get ready for Tuesday, because we've got another tough one right off the bat.
On Tuesday, the boys and girls swim and dive teams traveled to Lake Central in one of the last dual meets of the season. The boys won with a score of 94-91. Evan Holland, Christian Mikert, Milton Roberts, and Ryan Kozlowski all won their individual events. The girls fell to the Indians with a score of 63-123, with Jordan Artem, Emma Van Proyen, and Kaylin Gardner winning their individual events.
My performance tonight was tolerable. It was a couple of dives that I could have fixed, but other than that, I was satisfied with how I performed.
Overall, we had some good swims. We had some swims that we could improve on, but they're good building blocks for this road that we have coming up with DAC coming up in a couple weeks. it's just one more meet for them to get some recognition in and to get some more experience in for these freshmen that are new to this, and just getting some good swims and some competition that we'll see again in the future is always helpful for us.
Lastly, in sports shorts, student athletes participating in a spring sport are asked to accompany a parent to a meeting hosted by the athletic department and respective coaching staffs tonight at 6 o'clock in the auditorium. And that's it for sports.
A new junior roller derby team has started up here in the region, and they're looking for young women to participate.
I helped founded the junior league in the area. They practice on Sundays from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. at the Charter School of the Dunes in Miller. It's a good way to promote athleticism in youngsters and anybody that kind of feels like an outcast that doesn't want to join like football or basketball or baseball or anything like that. It kind of helps them just build up their confidence in a whole nother way, because we're very accepting. Roller derby is accepting of everybody. It's a good way to start them young, because you do teach them how to skate, you teach them how to do proper hits and all of that stuff. And if they are too young, by the time they turn 18, they can join the big leagues and they're already 100% trained already.
I think that high schoolers would really benefit from roller derby for the mere fact that it is an all-women's sport. It's one of the few full-contact women's sports out there. So if you have some aggression, a healthy way to do it, come play some roller derby. You learn how to hit, take a hit, learn how to fall, and it's great for exercise.
If you don't feel competent about your ability to skate, I wouldn't worry about that. Just understand that there's a learning curve and you'll only get better from more practice. So if that's what's holding you back, don't let it. Come on out. It's great. You'll have a blast. I'm new to it. I could barely stand up on skates, and now I can skate, kind of.
For more information, you can visit the Lake Effect Junior Roller Derby Facebook page.
That is our news here for today. Thank you for being with us.
If you're in a club, on a team, or participating in some type of extracurricular activity and would like us to promote your event, DM us on Twitter at CPTV Media.
Remember, you can view all of our past episodes on cptvmedia.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter at CPTV Media.
For Zach Jones, Ramsey Harkness, and all of us here at CPTV, I'm Ellie Lockhart.
And I'm Ben Lamb.
We'll see you next time.
Take care.